If you watched my last video, I only made it about 20 miles or so on the Colorado Trail before turning around and hopping off. I spent a couple more days in the Denver area before booking bus stays to Grand Junction and Durango to reunite with my truck. My vision of walking from Denver to Durango was crushed, but I wasn't ready to return home to Flagstaff quite yet. Instead, I explored the Durango area, doing a couple day hikes, an overnight backpacking trip in the La Plata Mountains, and a few different off-roading trails up and over mountain passes. The first adventure in this area would be to make it to Kennebec Pass. I started out driving on Junction Creek Road, which followed a popular off-roading trail, before continuing on past Barnes Mountain, Cape Horn, Slide Rock Mountain, and Monument Hill. I was now back above 10,000 feet of elevation at another intersection with the Colorado Trail. I had about 4 to 5 more miles to make it to the pass. I set out around 3 p.m. that afternoon with hopes to do some exploring of abandoned mines and an Alpine lake, and set up camp before it got dark. A few big switchbacks and rock slides, and I made it to Muldoon Mine. Muldoon Mine was a silver mine located in La Plata County at an elevation of 11,800 feet at the top of Kennebec Pass and just under the peak of Cumberland Mountain. When it was active, the production size of the mine was considered to be small. There is a notch at the top between Cumberland Mountain and Snowstorm Peak that is visible from Durango and is reached from the Kennebec Pass trailhead. Miners blew a hole in the ridge so they could transport ore by burro from the Bessie G mine.
Hey, buddy.
After rummaging around the heart of the mining operations, I hiked another mile or so to Taylor Lake, a gorgeous alpine lake right below Effendi Peak. For Colorado Trail southbound hikers, this is the last point above 12,000 feet of elevation before dropping down into Durango. I set up camp here, made dinner, and crashed for the night. The next morning, I woke up to a very quickly forming thunderstorm overhead, but was in no hurry to leave. I waited it out in my tent before packing up and retracing my steps back to the truck. It was nice to complete a relaxing overnighter with everything that had transpired in the past week. The next big activity on the docket was an off-roading adventure partially on the Alpine Loop near Silverton, Colorado. I followed Cement Creek up and over Hurricane and California passes before linking up with the West Fork of the Animas River. This led me to Frisco Mill and the famous Animas Forks mine. The Animas Forks mine was one of the best kept abandoned mines I've been to and seemed like an impressive operation. Animas Forks is one of the highest mining camps in North America. The town's first log cabin was built in 1873 and its post office in 1875 before Colorado earned its statehood in 1876. The town grew rapidly and had 30 cabins, a hotel, general store, saloon, and even a newspaper publication. By the turn of the 20th century, mining had slowed and most of the mill's major parts were moved to Eureka. Animas Forks was a ghost town by the 1920s. By this point, I did not have cell service and wasn't sure where to go. The Animas Forks name is ironic and accurate as there were several forks in the road to choose from, whether you want to go over Cinnamon Pass, Engineer Pass, or follow Mineral Creek back to civilization. I chose the latter as it seemed the easiest at the time, but didn't really know what I was getting myself into. It was slow going and a test for my truck and my driving abilities, but it was worth the challenge as the views were stunning. Afterwards, I gave my truck a much needed deep clean and organize. I can only hope to be back in Colorado soon enough.